Hey there, comic book friends. I'm Travis, and this is our edition of Monster Comics Reviews. No Ethan, just me. Anyway, so let's talk comics from last week, which would have been, I want to say, like April 5th or something like that. First up, All-Star Western featuring Jonah Hex, issue number 18. Actually, really kind of enjoyed this issue. Last issue, the narration was a little odd. Same kind of narration this one, but not quite as odd seeming. It was great. Jonah Hex dealing with Vandal Savage was pretty cool. But as a whole, other than kind of saying, ooh, this is how Vandal Savage is during this time, there's not a lot of content to this story. I enjoyed it, but if I really think about it hard, there wasn't a lot of story to it. The end, for me, is one of the most interesting parts because Hex gets on a train and is heading out of Gotham. So my question is, are they actually going to start having Hex wandering across the West again? Is he done with Gotham for now? That's cool with me if they finally do that. I mean, they've had him tied down to Gotham for 18 issues. I know that was the initial kind of pitch and how they were running the book. But I think it'd be kind of cool to get him back moving more in the direction he was before with the stuff going on. Of course, I've heard hinted that the next couple issues are going to have Booster Gold in it, so that could be really curious too, to see what kind of a story that's going to be told with, as far as that goes. Curious to see Moritat do Booster Gold too. That should be also interesting. But as a whole, not a bad issue, but it felt like it was an issue that was moving forward into something else. The backup issue in this was another Stormwatch issue. Interesting. It had a lot of Terrence 13 in it. I don't know. I don't think Terrence 13 is part of Stormwatch, but I think we get Adam at the end here. Of course, he is part of Stormwatch, so it'll be really curious to see exactly where that goes. Like I said, I'm curious about the next issue more than anything. My enthusiasm for All-Star West and Jonah Hex is starting to wane. I like the character Hex, and that's the biggest reason I continue to read the book, because he's an amusing character. I do like some of the banter between him and Arkham. I'm okay with Arkham being left behind, though, and Hex going and doing his own thing. I'm fine with that, too. I just feel like we need to start getting some stories that have some meaning to them, and I don't know if this one did or not, or it didn't feel like that much to me. Okay, next we're going to talk about a book I absolutely love, FF. This is issue number 5. Please, somebody tell me, is the AR in this cool? Because I can never get the AR to work in anything. Love this cover. I love the outlet art in it. The popping colors, the kind of, 70s old school-ishness to it, but feeling fresh. Also, the quirkiness of it is all great. And we get more of the whole Medusa, what's going on with Medusa in this thing, and the clone. At the end, we see there's a big reveal, and I'm not even 100% sure this is Medusa is the evil person that's in this. It may just be that, I don't know, something that he's seen or whatever. I'm curious to see how that story goes. Still just a really fun issue. It's just a fun comic. I just really enjoy the heck out of this comic. It's just, I like the art, the rich art, and the quirkiness of it. I don't have anything great in detail to talk about with this issue, but I did. I just enjoyed it. It was fun. I like the characters and stuff, and just getting a real kick out of it. Next, let's talk I, Vampire, issue 18. We're almost done with this series. We continue the scorched earth policy of dealing with all the characters in here, as it's seemingly everybody is dying throughout the whole thing. Missed the art, from the original artist that was on the book. Still really enjoyed it. I love the way this is ending, really. It's going to end with just a big, crashing mess, I think. And I'm quite okay with that. If you're going to end a comic and you get the opportunity to, and it's this style of comic, why not just burn the whole thing down? I'm okay with that. I'm sure by the time it's all said and done, we'll still have Andrew Bennett around, but I'm not sure how many of his friends are going to be left in existence because most of them have been completely taken care of or butchered. At the end of this, though, is really curious. A person pops up that I thought was pretty much done for last issue, pops up in some sense, and it will be kind of cool to exactly see how this whole thing ends and whatnot. Joshua Hale Falkoff writes a really good story. Really enjoying this. Bummer it's gone, but I think it's pretty cool how it's going. Next, we're going to talk about Justice League Dark, issue 18. We finally get a deal with the rest of the this alternate dimension where the magic has been secluded to one place. We get a big giant battle going on. Our heroes are still messed up because of the way this reality messes with them. Tommy's dad comes to rescue him. We find out that Tommy's dad actually was the original Hunter character that these fairies have been talking about and whatnot. He basically left that life behind once he had a son because he was worried that bad things would happen to his son. So we get the impression at the end that possibly Constantine knew that all along and was basically set this whole thing up to get that ball rolling and make what happened at the end here, where Tommy and his father stay in this other dimension while the rest of them move forward back to the regular dimension, and they all quit Argus at the end. They all walk away, which is somewhat interesting because we know that in the future Zatanna is going to end up being, or I've seen ads and talking about how she's going to be part of Justice League. She get a new costume, closer to her older costumes back in the day. But here she's siding with Constantine, and Constantine pretty much at the end of it says, look, we're not going to be government stoolies anymore. We're going to go correct the wrongs that need to be fixed, but we're doing it our own way, and it's not going to do with you. And they walk off into the House of Mystery. And that's the end. But all of them go. Frankenstein, Black Orchid, the whole group goes. So be curious going forward as to who's going to actually be part of the Justice League Dark, the team itself, and exactly where we are moving forward. I really enjoy the book. I love the art. I love these characters. They're all interesting characters. Even if they only have like 2 or 3 main characters, then cycle through a bunch of other supernatural characters depending on what they need. That'll be awesome as far as I'm concerned. A really fun book. I would think that the next issue is going to be something that people will be able to jump on because this kind of ended the whole storyline going forward there. So if you had any thoughts about Justice League Dark, maybe issue 19's where to get on at, especially if you're interested in the whole Trinity War thing that's going on, because it looks like now that Justice League Dark is also being tied into the Trinity War stuff. So, and lastly, I am going to talk Young Avengers issue number 3. Love this cover. I'm actually really enjoying this title. It's fun. As far as a teen type superhero book, this captures all of that kind of funness. I'm not familiar with this character at all. This is Miss America. I love her. I think she's great. She's Latin American in some sense or another. We find out that everybody's parents have been screwed up when Wiccan cast this spell. It pretty much messed up everybody's parents, and so now they all have these kind of evil parents and whatnot. And so Miss America's parents are crazy superheroes themselves, it seems. We find out the reason everything got messed up is because Loki tried stopping the spell that Wiccan was casting, but got interrupted by Miss America, and when that happened, it messed everything up and shifted everything. And they need Loki's help, but of course you can't trust Loki at the same time. It's funny, the Wiccan keeps getting texts from Hawkeye, the female Hawkeye, Kate Bishop. They're still up in space fighting space aliens or something like that, is what she keeps texting. and they keep texting back, oh yeah, this their stuff and whatnot. So, whereas in last issue they were headed to Asgard, they decided not to go there because obviously the parents are messed up there too. So, just a lot of fun. I mean, it's just kind of a fun kind of comic. $2.99, so it's one of the cheaper Marvel books. Give it a check out. It's just amusing. I like the art in it. And I'll quit saying and I'll be done with my comics reviews for this time around. Small week, only 5 comics that weren't No Capes comics. So we'll see what next week brings. Bye, everybody.